Hopefully you can hear all the birds. We've got a bird app that recognizes all the different types of birds. And it's recording right now. I think there's like 5 different ones that it's picked up so far.
Morning.
Welcome to Sunday.
Yeah, beginning of the week.
Beginning of the week, as some say.
Yeah.
My weeks start on Monday. This is still the weekend, yo.
Yeah, that is very true. We have a week of rain ahead of us, so we thought we would do the video a little differently this week. So we went on a beautiful walk this morning. So many birds out. It just rained all night pretty much. And now we have a couple hour gap, and then it's going to start raining again. We got some stuff done this morning, so we thought we'd take you on a tour of the outside in between everything, because our goal this week actually was to start the garden prep. But
it's going to storm and rain all week.
Every day.
Every day.
So
they probably won't now.
Yeah.
Now that they're forecasting it. Forecasting.
All right. So this week, what we have planned for you is we have seeds that we have to start.
We got chamomile and calendula.
Yep. And then last week's bread recipe and this upcoming week's bread recipe.
So we'll start with the chickens. We'll go feed them and show you a little what's going on. We've had some problems with the chickens for the last couple months. Their backs have been losing feathers. Their backs have become raw. And we thought it was possibly a couple different things. Either one of the roosters were being too aggressive, or it could be mites or lice. We weren't sure exactly what it was, so we started with getting rid of Titus, the second rooster, the newest rooster that we have. And we got rid of him about a month ago now.
Yep.
And at the same time, we had cleaned their coop, cleaned it really good, and spread diatomaceous earth around in case it was mites, because the mites like to nest in wet and dark places. So we got rid of Titus and did that. And they seem to get better, a little better.
Yeah.
In the next couple weeks. But then they got a lot worse. Then we were thinking that it really was mites, because you're supposed to treat for mites twice. The first time you get rid of the adults, and then you do it 7 to 10 days later to get rid of the eggs that have hatched. So then we treated them for mites. We cleaned the coop out again, sprayed, used a spray this time, sprayed them all down, waited a day, and then spread diatomaceous earth everywhere. We waited a week, cleaned out the coop again, spread diatomaceous earth again, and again we thought they were looking a little better, but then they've gotten a lot worse again. So now we're back to thinking that it's overmating our other rooster, Aggie, because not all of the girls have it, whatever it is. Like it's about half and half, where half the girls look horrible now and the other half are fine. So now this morning we got rid of Aggie. So now we'll wait and see if they get better. So yeah, that's the chicken update. They're still producing at least 12 eggs a day.
Yeah, 12 to 14 eggs a day, and
yeah,
they didn't have a lot of side effects for mites, so we didn't really think it was that, but it's been hard to tell. So
yeah, like the only thing that's going on with them that we suspect is mites is the
feather loss. Extreme feather loss.
Yeah, extreme.
So we'll feed them this morning and
go from there.
Yeah.
What's up, y'all? Hey there. Excuse me. Hey, I don't have to watch out where I'm going anymore. So I started fermenting their scratch grains, which is supposed to be really good for them, and it stretches the food out, in theory. Haven't seen those results yet, but they love it. Hey, I fixed the latch too. It's the little things. While we're over here, show you the magnolia. Magnolia's budding. It'll probably be a month till it blossoms yet, but that's a very good sign. We bought this tree 2 years ago on our anniversary. And it flowered last year, and gosh, I just love magnolias. It's so beautiful. It's a white magnolia too. That's awesome. All right, on to the garden.
All right, so next on our tour are daffodils and tulips. So we got some coming up. We got some coming up here. Yeah,
those are daffodils. These down here are tulips.
Yep. Come on up, buddy.
And they're everywhere.
Yep.
We planted them everywhere around this area.
We got some iris coming up. We got peonies popping up. And one of my favorite plants, bleeding heart.
All right, so I uncovered our strawberries here a couple days ago. They're looking really nice. Hopefully they don't drown this week. If you remember from last year, we started with 2 plants, and I cut all the suckers off and planted those around here. So now we've got lots of strawberries. And then more strawberries over here, but I'm not sure that all of these made it. You can see our chives too are coming up. But then strawberries all through here. There's only 3 plants that are green. There might be a 4th over there. So, and there should be like 8 or 10 even. So we'll see how those do. And then we got some walking onions over here that I got from a buddy from Colorado. He sent me a box full of like 1,000 bulbs, and I planted them all around. And so far these are doing the best. This bed had carrots in it last year, so not sure if that has anything to do with it. And then our garlic is starting to look much better than last year. At least that section. Most of them are coming up. But then the progress declines. There's only a couple in the rest of these sections. And then the bed over here, this section is doing all right here, but the other 2 sections, not much happening so far. So hopefully they're just late bloomers, is what I'm banking on. So it's starting to rain now. So we did plant some currant cuttings that we got from a friend in our raspberry patch, at raspberry and elderberry patch. So we're starting a little fruit. We're starting a little berry bush, berry orchard. We'll call it an orchard for now. So hopefully we have lots of berries this year. Strawberries and raspberries and elderberries. I'm going to show you this windmill that I 3D printed too. I just got to get it on a better pole, but so cool. So I had installed a new kitchen sink in a buddy of mine's house last week, and the sink that he bought came with a faucet, but he had already picked out a different faucet that he wanted. So I suggested that I take that faucet off his hands to use it in my outdoor sink. Mind you, it is an indoor faucet, so I'm not sure if it's gonna work in an outside sink, but we'll see how long it lasts. So let's put this in. So I'm going to drill a new hole for it right here, because if I use either of these holes, it would be in the way of the stone ledge for this window. So hopefully this will work. There's some bracing underneath that hopefully I don't hit. And so yeah, we'll see if this works. Well, it worked. All right, so then this will go in here. All right, then we hook up this quick connect. That should just go in like that. Secure. And then this goes on to the hose. And then this just slides down. All right, yeah, just like that. So if you've ever installed a kitchen sink before, you're probably wondering, well, how's he gonna hook it up to his hose? Because there's a hot and cold supply line for the kitchen faucet, and you only have cold water coming out of the hose. Well, I'm going to use a splitter and then a couple adapters to just hook 2 garden hoses up to these lines. It'll just be cold water, and that's fine. I'm fine with that. If I only hooked up one line, as soon as I go to turn on the water, water will just start shooting out of here. So I need to hook up 2 lines to this anyway. So I'm hoping we get more pressure with this. But here's how we do it. So here's the adapters. So these adapters actually go onto here, and then this part goes onto a garden hose. Really quite simple, actually. I've got these washer hoses that are female on both ends. So this will hook into this. The other end will hook into my splitter. And Bob's your uncle. Finger tighten. That's what they say. You don't want to over tighten these. If you start wrenching on it, that could cause the seal to break. And then you got leaks, and then you got a problem, especially underneath your sink. All right, and then I'm gonna put these down in here, around here. Let's not tangle these lines up. So then you can see the splitter I have. I'm just gonna go off of these 2 lines. So I'll do that quick. Now let's see if it works. I'm gonna turn the water on. Hey, look at that, huh? That's awesome. All right, now I'll just carefully throw this back in the hole, and we should be good to go. Maneuver the drain, drop that all down in there. Oh yeah. That's awesome. I can use this to spray off vegetables, or really anything that I need water for, as they come in from the garden before they go in the house. I'll probably create a cover for this of some sort, just to keep it protected from some of the elements. But yeah, that's awesome. Job done. It's time to make some bread again. Today we got everyday bread. It's got some different ingredients in it. It's got both wheat flour and white flour. It's also got honey and milk and butter, and then sprinkle some wheat germ over the top. So we'll see how it goes. Let's get into it. All right, so we've got our whole wheat, white flour, salt, yeast, honey, butter, and milk. We're gonna throw this in the mixer. We're actually just gonna mix this for just maybe a minute or so, just to bring everything together, and then we're gonna let it sit for 5 minutes. All right, we're gonna let this set for 5 minutes just so the flours can absorb all that liquid, and then we'll come back and continue kneading. All right, it's been 5 minutes. We're gonna knead this dough for 5 to 8 minutes. All right. It's been 6 minutes. This is good enough. We're gonna cover this and let this sit for 1 to 1.5 hours till it's doubled in size. See you then. So it's been 1.5 hours. It says risen, and now it's sinking. We are going to scrape it out of the bowl. Oh, this smells very sweet. I bet that's because of the honey. It smells really good, actually. All right, now we're going to kind of press this out into 12 by 8 rectangle-ish. Oh, you know, why do I always forget the flour? Always, well, almost always, flour your work surface, folks. All right. That's about 8 by 12. We're going to fold these in with just a bit of an overlap. And then, I like going from this side. With this type of dough, we're going to just roll it up, pull it, roll it, pull it, roll some more, and pull, just to keep the outside taut. Gives it more tension, gives it a better crust. All right, we got this guy here. So we're gonna coat this with a wheat germ. It says wet a clean kitchen towel, then wring it out. It should still be pretty damp. Roll the dough log over the towel to moisten it, then roll the log of the dough in the wheat germ, which you've spread into a pan. All right, so we've got wheat germ here. I'm gonna wet this towel, and then we'll wrap that dough up in the towel. I've wrung this towel out, but it's still pretty damp. We're gonna take this, just kind of roll it through that. And then we're gonna take this and just roll it through that. Yeah, interesting. I've also got a greased loaf pan. We're going to throw this seam side down in this pan. We're going to cover it and let it sit for another 1.5 hours to 2 hours to proof. All right, so it's been 1.5 hours. I have preheated the oven to 350. This is what the bread looks like. We're going to throw this in for 35 to 40 minutes. Hey, Maggie. All right. It has been 36 minutes. And this is ready to come out. I overproofed it by a few minutes, so that's why it's got a little dent in it. It kind of fell. But man, it smells good, looks good. So we're just going to flip this out. And let it cool completely before we slice into it. You know, for it being called everyday bread, there was quite a lot to it. All right, anyway, everyday bread. Gosh, this looks so good. Yep, that's going to be delicious. You can just tell. We're going to have egg on toast this morning. Omelet on toast, really. So today we've got everyday French loaf. A lot of everydays lately. But that's all right. So I actually started last night with this pre-ferment, which was flour, water, and some sourdough culture. And it is nice and bubbly now. It's been about 14 hours. It just sat on the counter overnight. All right, so first what we're gonna do is add this warm water. And then we just kind of get in here and start squeezing it and mixing it all together. It's a very strange feeling. So it says to squeeze it through your hands and then kind of do a claw-like motion and mix it up. I'm just going to continue using my hand to mix this. So we're going to add the flour and just a little bit of yeast and a bunch of salt. And we're just going to get in here and kind of mix it up. Just trying to get all the dry flour mixed in. You can see that is quite a mess. We're just going to mix it up a little bit more just to make sure we're good. I'm going to take my scraper and scrape all this off. All right, that was fun. Now we're just going to cover this and let it sit for 20 minutes and do a stretch and fold. All right, been 20 minutes. I'm going to take this out. Just going to kind of grab some, pull it up. You can see it's just falling apart. There's a little stretch to it, but all those clumps in there, that's going to smooth out as we do this process. We're going to do this process a few times. Just stretching it up, folding it over, wet my hand again. And it says stretch it for 8 to 12 folds. All right, I think we're at almost that. All right, we're going to cover that and let it set for another 20 minutes. All right, we got another 20 minutes. Another stretch and fold. Stretch up into the middle, quarter turn. Doing this 6 to 8 times now. That's really strengthened quite a lot since 20 minutes ago. Another 20 minutes and we'll do a couple coil folds. All right, it's been another 20 minutes. Now what we're going to do is attempt a coil fold in this big container. So what that entails is basically just getting under the sides. Yeah, this is really tough to do in this container. And you just kind of fold it over itself. Like that. So picking it up, letting it stretch as much as possible. Yeah, it's not stretching very much, so we got some good gluten structure going on. All right, fold it down. Now we're gonna let it cover it and let it rest for an hour now, till it's nice and puffy. All right, you know what time it is. That's right, it's divide and pre-shape time. It's nice and plump, marshmallowy. We are going to flour our work surface. And we're gonna get this guy out of here. Now we're going to split this in half after flouring it a little bit. That's about half. All right, now let me just flour my hands a little bit. Now we're going to shape this into a round, which, as you know, goes like this. Being gentle, trying not to deflate it too much. Do this, and then we just kind of work it around here. And put that guy right there. Same thing with the other one. All right, now we're going to cover it and let it sit for 15 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to flour these bannetons. You can just use a loaf pan and line it with a linen and then sprinkle some flour around. All right. It's been 15 minutes. We are going to flip these around, gently pat them out, and do a rectangle-ish. We're going to fold over, We're gonna roll it over, push it down, gently push it down. You're just gonna roll it over and push back. Roll it over and push back. And then we're just gonna kind of roll it gently, just like that. Then we're gonna transfer this into our floured Banneton, seam side up. And we're gonna cover these and let them rise again for another 45 minutes to an hour. All right, it's been about 50 minutes. I have preheated the oven to 475 with my pizza steel in with the cast iron skillet below it. Now I'm going to spread out some cornmeal. Now we're gonna dump this out. Bloop. All right, and then we're gonna make 3 cuts. And we're gonna throw these in the oven. All right. I'm gonna pour the water in. We're gonna bake that for about 32 minutes. All right, check this out. Gosh, that looks pretty beautiful. Nice. Everyday French loaf. You can hear it crackling. So I made garlic bread and pizza from one of the loaves. Doesn't that look delicious? All right, breads are done. Now we start some more seeds. So we use a website called Seed Time for planning out when to start seeds, when to plant out, when to direct seed, when to do everything with the garden. And it works great. Highly recommend it.
It's kind of cool. You just put in what you want to plant, right?
Yeah.
And then it tells you.
Yeah. For the most part, you just type in all your seeds. It'll plan everything out, give you a calendar view. It'll give you a weekly task list. A weekly task list. If you buy the paid version, you can actually lay out your garden on a map, and it'll tell you, or then you can plan out where to plant everything even.
So tonight we have chamomile. We super love this.
Super love it.
Super love it. It's been a couple of years in a row we've done that.
Yep.
Carrots, early carrots.
Actually, carrots are being direct seeded this week.
Ah.
Yeah.
Outside.
Outside.
In the flooding
In the
water.
flooding water. Yeah.
All right. So we'll keep that to the side.
Yep.
Oregano.
Oregano.
The Greek version.
Greek version of oregano.
Love our oregano.
Yep.
Parsley.
Yep.
And marigolds.
Marigolds. Otherwise known as calendula.
Yes, calendula.
We saved seeds from last year. We plant marigolds in every bed, pretty much. They attract bees and pollinators.
Okay, so tonight we are going to plant these. We won't show you the process. You can check out one of our previous videos for that. And we'll show you the end result when we get upstairs on the grow light rack.
Yep. Oh, we are planting primrose too.
Yes.
We've got evening primrose. So we were just walking the garden the other day and noticed that all the pods were full of seeds. So we brought some in, dried them out, and we're going to plant them up and see if they grow. They should. They've gone through the winter, so they should be stratified, which is the process of a seed needing to go through a cold season in order to germinate. Some people just do that by throwing the seeds in the freezer or the fridge
Yeah.
for a couple weeks.
We use the outdoors.
We use the outdoors, apparently.
And Jason found that it can either take a couple weeks / month to germinate, or it can take a couple of years. So hang with us through that whole process.
I'm not sure if that was actually true because that was Google AI, so I'm not sure if that's actually true. It said one type of primrose can take up to 3 years to germinate, but Google gets things wrong a lot, so. But it's a fun fact if it's a fun fact. So. All right, here we go.
All right, we're going to get planting. Come on, Meg. What?
So one thing you got to be aware of is some seeds need light to germinate. So like all of these seeds, we didn't cover with soil, whereas the other tray we did. So one thing to be aware of.
All right, so here's the new stuff that we planted.
Well,
Got them watered, covered, but they don't need direct heat, so they don't have the heating mat under them.
yep.
So they'll be just happy in there. Celery is looking beautiful. We have that.
Yep.
Got
Yeah, those are actually looking a lot better than
yeah.
the ones up top. Cool. Onions. Awesome. Cabbage.
Cabbage, yep.
Yep. And we've got the snapdragons all in here.
Get them all.
They're slow, so they'll take a while.
Take your time, buddy.
The tomatoes, I just trimmed those down to 1 per cell. Same with peppers. We got the 2 pepper seeds that we bought this year. Those are doing good. And then shishito. But then the poblano and green peppers that we saved seed from last year are not doing anything. So we'll have to buy some peppers. And that's okay. All right. That is all for this week. Say goodbye, Roberta.
All right. Goodbye, Roberta.